Update. I, 30, think my wife, 27, has been having an affair with our son's kindergarten teacher, 30. How can I handle this in a way that doesn't hurt and confuse my son? Original post. So basically, I travel for work, but my wife is a stay-at-home mother to our 6-year-old son. He started school in August, and we both hit it off with his teacher, and he became one of our friends and would come over sometimes to hang out on the weekends, etc. About a month ago, when I was home for a week or so, I found a change of men's clothes in the laundry hamper in the basement and recognized them as not mine and asked my wife about them. At first, she insisted they were mine, but as soon as I pulled them out and said that I don't wear those kinds of clothes, her whole demeanor changed. She suddenly got very reserved and said it was his, my son's teacher, and that he came over and went swimming, and that's why they were there, because he had brought a change of clothes. She had never told me she had anyone over while I was gone, which was fine but a little odd. When I asked what day he was here, she told me today, which was conveniently also the same day our security cameras were broken, and she had to reset them or something. Still, it didn't make a lot of sense to me, but me and my wife never had any issues, so I just shrugged it off and went to bed. A few hours later, and she was bathing in our master bathroom, I could hear my wife on the phone while she was in the bathtub, both being extremely quiet and giggly. I heard her legitimately say, "Ooh, I love your Batman voice," and so I got up and knocked on the door. The following conversation ensued. Me, "Hey, who are you talking to?" Her, "My sister." Me, "Your sister can do a Batman voice?" Her, "Why are you listening to my phone call?" Me, "I'm not. I overheard you." Then silence, and she hurriedly got off the phone and came to bed a little later. I hate to say it, but I did go through her phone, and immediately found a lot of stuff I really don't like. Her and him, the teacher, with my son out doing things looking like a family. I found text that she had been making a lot of trips to the school and meeting him for lunch during the day. He had gifted her flowers twice. Ultimately, I found really weird hotel booking confirmations in the teacher's name and the duration of the time I was gone for a hotel in our city for 2 adults and 1 child, which made me look back on some of the pictures I saw on her phone and realized that at some point she had taken my son to a hotel with a teacher and all of them were together. I am not proud of going through her phone, and obviously I didn't find anything romantic between their texts, but they do seem to be constantly eager to talk, and the hotel thing weirds me out, frankly. I haven't taken any job super far away for a while for a reason, and more time goes on, the worse I feel about what I saw on my wife's phone. I think I'm going to straight up tell my wife tonight that someone told me they saw her with a teacher at a hotel, and that someone made a comment about how much she is at the school. I am especially concerned for my son, and wondering what he might have seen. As far as I have seen of his schoolwork and from what he's told me, he just does a really good job at school, and loves his teacher and class. He's really well adjusted, but talks about his teacher a lot, and even randomly blurted out when I took him to McDonald's that sometimes his mom makes him call his teacher uncle/daddy. Which is just bizarre, but also could just be him being a kid and saying weird things. Should I ask him? I mean, he's only 6. If he hasn't seen anything weird, I don't want to confuse him, but I also feel like if my wife is acting this way, I have to be sure my son isn't being hurt or involved in this. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Do not confront her. She's only going to lie to you. First and foremost, you need to go to a reputable divorce lawyer/law firm. I'm not suggesting you file for divorce. I'm only advising you this because if it gets ugly, and it most likely will, you need to get a leg up on this. Also, a good law firm will set you up with a private investigator. Odds are there's more to this than you know. If you don't feel comfortable going to a divorce lawyer for advice, then at least get a good private investigator. Then based on what comes up, you can decide how you want to proceed. Good luck, man. This sucks. Oh, okay, so I won't confront her then. I guess I'll start shopping around for a good lawyer and a therapist while I'm at it. I know you feel like throwing everything in her face, but don't do it. Lawyer up and start documenting her interactions with your kid and a teacher. Get your financials in order. House, accounts, bills, who pays what, from whose money, where the hotel's paid for, etc. Keep as calm as possible. When you feel you can't handle it anymore, go for a walk alone. I do, and I'm struggling against just screeching at her. But I know it's best for my son and even myself in the long run if I just suffer in silence for another few weeks so I can find a lawyer and get the ball rolling. Man, I'm sorry. Get all the proof you can to give your lawyer and figure out where to go from here. Second this, she's found your replacement. Third this, Get your documents in order, get a lawyer, and protect your connection to your son. Thanks, everyone. I managed to preserve some of the proof of the hotel bookings and pictures via screenshot. I even was able to log on to her Discord and confirm that she is, definitely experimenting with him to say the least. Edit, thank you everyone so far. I've decided not to confront her and just wait it out with the help of a lawyer/private investigator. And now for the update. Hey everyone. A month ago, I made a post about my wife cheating on me with our son's teacher, obviously. I had a lot of people asking me for an update when I had one, so this is it. I served my wife divorce papers a week after my post was made. With the help of a damn good private investigator and another employee at my son's school, I had more than enough evidence to file on account of infidelity. Not that I needed this, but the harsh truth of the situation really pushed me to actually go through with it. She denied everything at first, but caved and signed them later on in the evening after realizing I meant it. Everything should be finalized in about 3 to 4 more weeks. I have primary custody of my son as of now, on account of my now ex-wife had been going through absolutely ballistic with pain pills. Like going through $400 worth a week. I'm not sure how I didn't see all of the signs, but I found this out via my PI. It made me realize I was away from home far too often. I was an absent father and husband, and I'm working every day to change that. It also made me realize how blindly I trusted her to woman up and be there for our child when I was away. And I hope I will never be that naive again. I hope she gets the help she needs so she can seize the disappointment she has caused my baby, who cries a lot now. I feel terrible for him, and I'm not sure how she could have acted with such disregard for him going to the affair. As for the teacher, it turns out he was on some sort of quarterly contract or something at the school. And after a trip to the school system, armed with what evidence I did have and quite the grievance against him, may have been informed that he has not been invited back for the new semester after Christmas break. Wife has moved out of the house and is at her parents', but she comes on the weekends to see the kid. Sometimes I still love her, but my self-esteem is mostly shattered after this whole ordeal. But I'm in therapy. So is my son. We've both had 2 sessions. We are going to be okay. I have family coming from out of the country for Christmas and he is so excited for that. Thanks for everything. Wow, I've been waiting for an update from you. Just despicable behavior. Not just infidelity, but also the reckless exposure of your son to this person. Good luck and glad you and your son are in therapy. Hopefully your soon-to-be ex-wife will get her act together, so your son can have both his parents in his life. Did she express any remorse? Or was she just upset about getting busted? I'm also hoping she really pulls through with the rehab, and slowly gets to a place where I can trust her to have him for the weekends at her place, etc. I'm not going to stop her from being in his life, but I will monitor the time they have until I'm sure she won't get him involved in any more chaos like this. She denied everything at first, and it was all waterworks with the "I love you." So we had a long talk and I told her she had to stop lying, and that she didn't love me. She basically agreed that she didn't love me, and thought she could have both a boyfriend and a normal family at the same time. She's in therapy too, I'm sure, because of the rehab. I hope the best for her, really. But what she did really sucks. Oh man, complete cake eater. Wow, what a couple of awful people. Getting your son to call this turd-stained daddy? No matter your absence, you should have been able to trust your wife to deal with a problem with your family's best interests at heart. Not this. Good luck with the therapy, the self-confidence, and the new dynamic. Hope it works out for you in the future. Unbelievable that people are harping on you for admitting you've been too focused on work and let things default to her. Yeah, as a partner, that's crappy. But are y'all for real? Having an emotional and physical affair, lying to his face, having your child around your affair partner. And this guy needs luck in his next relationship? Hell no. He tried, and she lied to his face and hooked up with another dude and had their kid around that. That's emotionally damaging to the child to say the least, but freaking unforgivable for involving the child. I'm sorry this happened, but I'm glad you walked away. Some things aren't forgivable. You sure your kid is yours? Definitely get tested for STDs. Just know that whoever you are a person that's worth of love and respect. Right now, you're a lovable person. Only a damaged, hurt person does that to something. It's not a reflection of you. I wish you the best of luck in the future. Continue therapy to process this and heal. Thanks, man. I'm literally working for the military and I'm on frequent deployments and trips to other bases, where I work with data and as a translator. I'll admit, I could have been around more. I see no fault in admitting it, but it also doesn't make me a monster. I'm doing what I can to fix it. I am sure my son is mine. He looks just like me, and even if he wasn't, that's my baby. I love him more than life, man. I did get tested, and luckily I'm clean. Thank you. Last story is titled, Update. Saw my best friend's dad kissing the person he's in love with. Original post. Hey, I'm 19 male, my friend Adam is 19 male too, and has feelings for our other friend Pam who's 18 female, and whom we've known our whole lives. Last night I was walking from a job back to campus when I saw Pam going back into the dorms with a guy wearing a hoodie. I was going to shout out to her, but then I saw the guy wrap his arms around her and kiss her goodbye. After he turned around, it took me a second to recognize him because he's normally dressed differently, but it was Adam's dad for sure. Adam told me last year he had feelings for Pam, and apparently he's had them for a while. But he hasn't said anything to her because she said she's not interested in dating while she's here because she's on a scholarship and needs to keep up her grades. Adam's parents are married and he has younger siblings, so I don't know if I tell him what I saw or stay out of it. I think I'd want to know, but I've never been in a situation like this, so I don't know. Now for the advice before reading the update. Tell him, so he can let his mom know she's married to a freaking creep. It's really freaking creepy, right? Has Adam's dad known Pam since she was a child? Yeah, he's known her since his family moved here when we were like 4. Are Pam's parents friends with your parents as well? And or Adam's? Just try to remember that if you tell someone what you saw and people get mad at you, it's not your fault. This is all on a 40-plus-year-old creeper who is taking advantage of an 18-year-old, and probably even younger, which is a big problem. Yes, they're all friends with each other. Thanks for the reassurance. I'm going to talk to my parents tomorrow. Normally, I'm a mind-your-business kind of person, but she's 18. He's known her his entire life, and he's married with kids? Red flags all over. How old is he? I don't know exactly how old. I know he's younger than my dad who's 42, but not by much. You need to tell Adam. His mother needs to know, and so do Pam's parents. Try talking to both your parents first. This is huge, and a possible grooming or creep situation. It may possibly be innocent, but that would be one hell of an explanation, which you should get from each party separately so they don't have a chance to concoct a story. Since this is so big and a potential safety issue, I highly recommend leaning on your parents for advice as you don't have that much life experience either. Plus, this could get really ugly. Yes, I guess this is my best bet. I know my mom is going to flip out. It will be awkward and uncomfortable. Just sit them both down and tell them you need to talk to them about something important and for them to listen to the end without interruption. Tell them everything you posted here. Your concerns over your friend's father cheating, the young girl who may have possibly been groomed or is getting in over her head, and mention your friend who has feelings for the girl whom his father is kissing, and how this could all end badly. You don't know how to approach your friend to tell him what you saw. And while another person's marriage isn't something that is generally other people's business, you don't want to betray your friend by staying silent. Even though the truth could possibly end his parents' marriage, destroy his relationship with both his dad and his girl, plus the whole possibility of a potential grooming situation. Or at least a girl who isn't over her head, hasn't thought of the consequences, or doesn't realize the damage this can cause. It's a lot to unpack, and you need their help. And now for the update. I had every intention of telling my parents and getting their advice. But then Adam invited me out, and for a big part of the night, Pam was there with us. We had a few drinks, and after Pam left, Adam was basically saying how they had hung out earlier in the day, how he was going to tell her about his feelings for her, etc. I ended up telling him about what I saw, but I told him I had literally zero context and didn't know what the exact situation was. He thought I was messing with him at first. He thought I was pulling a prank. Then we went to Pam's room and he was like, "Are you sleeping with my dad? I need you to look me in the eyes and tell me you aren't sleeping with my dad." And she immediately started crying, saying that she felt horrible for what she was doing, and she felt horrible for lying to us and hurting Adam's family and mom. But it just started happening, and she didn't know how to stop it from happening. Adam was really mad. He told her it was disgusting, that he's known her from since she was a kid. Pam was just sobbing and kept apologizing over and over, so we thought it was for the best if we left and let her roommate calm her down. I tried to calm Adam down, but then he called his mom and was just like, "Did you know that Dad was sleeping with Pam?" And she thought he was messing with her, and she kept asking him how much he'd had to drink. But she finally realized he was telling the truth, and I could hear her yell through the other side of the phone. I guess to Adam's dad, is this the truth? Is it telling the truth? So the aftermath of all this is that Adam's dad was kicked out of his house. His mom is next level pissed. Destroying his things level pissed. Pam's parents are pissed too. Apparently the altercation Adam's dad had with her dad didn't end well. It wasn't physical or anything, just ugly, I heard. I don't know when the relationship started, but I guess the timing is suspicious enough that the cops came and talked to Pam. He was doing alright, but just mainly wants to be left alone right now. Adam is still pissed. He's blowing off classes and binge drinking, and said he doesn't plan on stopping until he forgets about his pathetic father. All of this sucks, but I know I couldn't have kept this from Adam. He's my best friend, but I couldn't keep that from him. I know some people think I should have kept my mouth shut, but I think that would be a pretty horrible thing to do to a friend. You did a hard yet right thing, Opie. I'm sorry for your friend. Thanks. He's not handling it well, but hopefully he'll pull it together. I hope so. Binge drinking isn't gonna help him. He can't forget his POS father. He is gonna need therapy. Yeah, I'm going to work on warming him up to therapy. Me thinks the girl was groomed and dad is a pedo. There's really no thinking to do about it. He's been around her since she was a small child. He straight up did it to her. It's not like there's some switch that flips when a young girl turns 18, that all of a sudden makes a grown man start seeing this child he's known for years as a romantic option. Dude is a verifiable pedo, more than an animal and less than a man. You 100% did the right thing. Being a good friend isn't always going to be a fun thing. Hard truths, tough love, and honesty all demand sacrifice. You did great. Sorry it sucks. Thank you. It does suck.